The promise of connection, a simple swipe right, can now lead to unimaginable terror for travelers in Mexico. A disturbing trend has emerged, one where criminals are exploiting the very human desire for companionship. These perpetrators use popular dating applications to lure unsuspecting individuals, primarily tourists, into dangerous situations. The initial excitement of meeting someone new in a vibrant foreign land can quickly devolve into a fight for survival. This isn't an isolated incident or a far-fetched scenario. It's a growing concern that demands immediate attention from anyone considering using these platforms while abroad, particularly in certain regions of Mexico, where these activities have become more prevalent. The ease of creating a deceptive online persona makes these apps a fertile ground for those with malicious intent. Just this week on Monday, June 2, 2025, the U.S. Embassy in Mexico issued a significant security alert. This wasn't a routine update. It was a direct response to confirmed reports detailing how American citizens have fallen victim to kidnappings. These individuals were targeted after arranging to meet people they encountered on dating apps. The alert underscores the gravity of the situation, moving it from anecdotal evidence to an officially recognized threat. Such warnings from diplomatic missions are not issued lightly. They reflect credible intelligence and a pattern of incidents that pose a clear and present danger to citizens abroad, necessitating a heightened state of awareness and caution among the traveling public. The allure of a holiday romance or simply making a local connection can unfortunately blind travelers to potential red flags. Mexico, with its rich culture and beautiful landscapes, attracts millions. Many seek to enhance their experience by meeting local people. Dating apps seem like a convenient tool for this. However, this convenience is now being systematically exploited by criminal elements. They are adept at building rapport, feigning romantic interest, and ultimately luring victims into carefully orchestrated traps. The dream of a memorable encounter can turn into a prolonged nightmare, leaving victims and their families devastated by the consequences of a meeting that initially seemed harmless and full of potential. The core issue is the inherent anonymity and the ease with which trust can be manipulated in the digital realm. Behind a charming profile and persuasive messages can be a predator, or even an organized group, patiently waiting for an opportunity. The initial interactions are designed to disarm. They build a false sense of security. This makes the eventual betrayal even more shocking and dangerous. Travelers, often in unfamiliar environments and possibly with limited local support networks, become particularly vulnerable targets. Understanding this new dynamic of risk is the first crucial step towards protecting oneself from becoming another statistic in this alarming and growing trend of dating app-related abductions. The U.S. Consulate General Guadalajara has provided specific geographical context to these disturbing events. They have confirmed that kidnappings linked to dating apps have occurred in areas popular with tourists. These include Puerto Vallarta, located in the state of Jalisco, and the nearby region of Nuevo Nayarit, in the state of Nayarit. These confirmations are vital. They pinpoint where some of these criminal operations are actively targeting individuals. While these locations are highlighted, officials stress an important point. This type of violence is not exclusively confined to one geographic area. The methods used by these criminals can be deployed anywhere, making vigilance necessary across various destinations, not just those explicitly named in recent alerts. The seriousness of the situation in these states is further reflected in the U.S. State Department's travel advisories. Jalisco is currently classified as Level 3 Reconsider Travel. This advisory is due to widespread crime and the specific risk of kidnapping. It signals a significant level of danger, urging citizens to carefully weigh their decision to visit. Nayarit, while also flagged, is at Level 2 Exercise Increased Caution, primarily due to crime. Though seemingly less severe, a Level 2 advisory still indicates that there are heightened risks to safety and security that travelers must be aware of and prepared for. These advisories are based on a comprehensive assessment of the local security environment. These official classifications are not mere suggestions, they are serious warnings based on verified information and risk analysis. A reconsider travel advisory, like the one for Jalisco, suggests that travelers should postpone their trips if possible. If travel is essential, extreme caution is advised. An exercise increased caution advisory, as seen for Nayarit, means that while travel is not necessarily discouraged, visitors must be acutely aware of their surroundings and take extra steps to protect themselves. Ignoring these advisories can have severe consequences as they point to tangible threats that have affected other travelers. The advisories also often come with specific recommendations for behavior and precautions. It is crucial for anyone planning to use dating apps in these or any parts of Mexico to first consult the latest travel advisories from their country's embassy or consulate. These advisories are updated regularly to reflect changing conditions on the ground. They provide the most current understanding of potential threats. The fact that specific resort areas like Puerto Vallarta are mentioned indicates that even locations heavily frequented by tourists are not immune to these dangers. Criminals are often drawn to areas with a high concentration of potential victims who may be less familiar with local risks and more relaxed due to being on vacation. The criminals employing these tactics are often sophisticated in their approach. They create appealing yet fake profiles on dating apps, sometimes meticulously building a believable persona over days or even weeks of online interaction. Their goal is to gain the victim's trust and arrange a meeting in person. Once a meeting is set, the kidnappers typically lure the victim to a private or isolated location. This could be a residence, a less reputable hotel room, or an area away from public view. It is in these secluded settings that the victim is most vulnerable, far from any potential help or witnesses, making it easier for the criminals to execute their plans without immediate interference or detection. After the abduction, the primary motive is almost always financial. The victims themselves, or more commonly their families back in the United States or their home country, are subjected to extortion. Kidnappers will demand large sums of money to secure the victim's release. This creates an incredibly distressing and high-pressure situation for the families, who are desperate to ensure the safe return of their loved one. The criminals are often ruthless in their demands, exploiting the emotional turmoil of the situation. The process of negotiation and payment can be fraught with danger and uncertainty, adding another layer of trauma to an already horrific experience for everyone involved. The risks involved extend far beyond financial loss. Victims of these dating app kidnappings face the terrifying prospect of physical violence, psychological trauma, and in the worst-case scenarios, even death. Being held against one's will, often under threat, can have long-lasting psychological scars. The uncertainty of their fate, the fear of harm, and the feeling of powerlessness contribute to severe emotional distress. Even if a victim is eventually released, the experience can lead to conditions such as post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, and depression, profoundly impacting their life long after the physical ordeal has ended. The criminals are not concerned with this human cost. It is essential to recognize that the person on the other side of the dating app conversation might not be who they claim to be. The curated images, the charming words, and the shared interests could all be part of an elaborate deception. These criminals are skilled manipulators. They know how to play on emotions and create a false sense of connection and security. The very nature of online dating, which encourages quick intimacy and trust based on limited information, can be a dangerous gateway if not approached with extreme caution. The initial digital interaction is merely the first step in a potentially devastating criminal enterprise targeting unsuspecting travelers. In light of these serious threats, officials strongly advise travelers using dating apps in Mexico to adopt stringent safety measures meticulously. One of the most critical pieces of advice is to only meet strangers encountered online in very public places. Choose bustling cafes, well-known restaurants, or popular public squares for any initial meetings. Crucially, you should avoid going to isolated locations, such as the other person's residence, your hotel room, or any private apartment, especially early on. These private settings are where crimes are far more likely to occur, as they offer perpetrators control and seclusion, making it easier to carry out their nefarious plans without interruption or witnesses. Another vital precaution is to always inform a trusted friend or family member of your plans. Share details about where you are going, the name and contact information, if available, of the person you are meeting, and the specific dating app you use to connect with them. Provide check-in times. If possible, share your live location with this trusted contact via your smartphone. This simple step ensures that someone knows your whereabouts and can raise an alarm if you don't check in as planned or if something seems amiss. This information can be invaluable to authorities if an emergency situation does arise. Trusting your instincts is paramount. If a situation feels uncomfortable, unsafe, or simply off, remove yourself from it immediately. Do not worry about seeming rude or overly cautious. Your personal safety is far more important than social pleasantries. If the person you are meeting pressures you to go to a private location, changes plans abruptly to a secluded spot, or exhibits any behavior that raises red flags, it is perfectly acceptable to end the date and leave. Have a plan for how you will depart, such as having a rideshare app ready or knowing the location of nearby public transport. Finally, it is crucial to know how to seek help in an emergency. In Mexico, the emergency number is 911, similar to the United States. Program this number into your phone and be aware of your surroundings so you can provide accurate location information if needed. The U.S. Embassy and its consulates can also provide assistance to American citizens in distress. While these safety measures cannot guarantee absolute protection, they can significantly reduce your vulnerability. The key is to remain vigilant, prioritize your safety above all else, and understand that the convenience of dating apps comes with tangible risks in certain environments, requiring a proactive and cautious approach.